You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
Hiya, Blake. Welcome to Minnesota. Did the move take you by surprise? What'd you think of the trade to bring you here?
Yeah, thank you. Yes and no, I guess. I knew that it was a bit of a possibility to be getting moved. I had my name floating around for about 6 months now, so I guess it was always kind of in the back of our minds. But, after surviving the draft in July 1, wasn't exactly expecting the phone call this morning, but we were excited to get the call. Obviously, really excited about going back to a competitive team that has a great chance to win. And, I know a guy or two on there, which is nice to have somebody to reach out to and kind of get the feel for things around there. But, it's been a crazy morning, and we're really excited to start this chapter.
You mentioned knowing a couple of guys. That includes the head coach, John Hines. You had you were with him. I guess you would have been a rookie, right, in New Jersey. What was your first stint like with John Hines, and what do you think it'll be like this time around? Yeah,
it's I've got a lot of respect for Hinesy. Obviously we had a great relationship when I was in New Jersey. He really gave me my start in the league and kind of believed in me and saw something in me. So I've always had a lot of appreciation for him, and I like the way that he coaches, and he demands a lot of his players, but he's also fair. And I've always had, like I said, just a lot of appreciation for him. I'm excited to get to play for him again. Great coach, but for me, more importantly, I think he's a better person. So excited to build on that relationship.
Thanks, Blake. Welcome to Minnesota.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Go ahead, Mike Russo. Yeah, Blake, welcome. How excited you're to be coming to a team here that's definitely in a win now mode. They've got 3 or 4 superstars on the team. They envision you in a top 6 role, as Bill Guerin just said. How exciting is that, just based on the last couple of years?
Well, it's great. That's what it's all about. I think, while we loved being in Calgary, it's been really hard and disappointing not be in the playoffs for the last handful of years. And, I've been fortunate to go on some cup runs and get a taste of what it feels like to be at the top of the mountain. So I'm really excited about that. I think I have a lot to bring come playoff time. That's where I feel like I really thrive as a player, and I enjoy that atmosphere and that pressure. And, hopefully we're there in the spring, but one step at a time. Just excited to get to Minnesota, get settled in, get the family there, and play meaningful hockey down the stretch.
Yeah, how awkward was that game 82 2 years ago, where the Wild won the tiebreaker and you guys had to play that meaningless game in LA?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that was the thing about Calgary, is we were always pretty much in it, with maybe a year or two aside, we were always down to the wire. So we had meaningful hockey, but just couldn't come up with that last point or two. And then, the years that we did play well, other teams were just better. So it's, you don't want to be putting yourself in a situation where the final game of the year is making that decision for you. And that's just kind of the spot we tended to end up in. So again, I'm excited. I know they have a great team in Minnesota. I've already talked to Bogosian and a few guys, just, gauging where to live and things like that. And I'm really excited because they had a lot of good things to say about the room and the guys. And, I'm just excited to bring what I can to the team. And they already have a lot of the pieces in place, and anything I can do to help, I'm excited about.
And just lastly for me, have you talked to Olimata and how excited is he? And you can you kind of give us your scouting report on him?
I haven't talked to him yet. He's actually got his car parked in my garage in Calgary, storing it there, so it'll be easy. It'll be easy to make the move. But he's great. He he came over to us obviously at the deadline. Got to get real close with him. He's a good teammate, and I think he blew expectations away in Calgary when we got him. He was really good for us. I think he was clicking at a point per game at one point, but just solid. Two-way, good first pass. You know what you're going to get out of him every night. So, excited that he's coming, with me, and I'll have a buddy, to adjust with. But I think, they're going to be obviously very happy with what he puts on the ice as well.
Thanks so much, Blake. Again, welcome. And, sorry you got to be covered by Joe Smith again.
All good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Go ahead, Jess Myers.
Hi, Blake. Welcome to Minnesota. I wanted to ask, you made a few stops in the NHL. Where is home for you right now? And, is the family moving to Minnesota, or what's the plan that way?
Home is in Dallas, or Frisco, a suburb in Dallas. Me and my wife are both from here, have family from here, so we spend the summers here. But yeah, we're going to get up to Minnesota here soon, hopefully get our bearings. Pretty excited about it. My brother actually lives in Minnesota in Lyndhurst, so he's down there or up there, I guess. And it'll be nice to have him around. He's got a couple daughters around my girls' ages, so they're super excited. We were actually at the lake in Texas this weekend. They're in town visiting for the holiday, and he was joking around about getting us to Minnesota, and 2 days later I get the call. So it'll be really fun. From everything I've heard, it's a great place to live, a great place to raise a family, and we're definitely at that family stage of life. So I'm really excited.
Another guy who's in Minnesota now is your old college coach. I talked to Rico this morning. Just, what did you learn from your time at Miami, and how did that prepare you, I guess, to jump right into the NHL?
Yeah, a lot. I kind of lived two kind of careers at Miami. My first couple of years, came in and had high expectations, kind of settled into like a third, fourth line role for the first year or two. Grinded it out a little bit, and then really found my game my junior year. And a lot of that credit goes to Rico and the staff we had there. And he really helped kind of propel me to be ready for the NHL. And the school itself was incredible. I think it kind of blew our minds that they'd struggled for the last handful of years since everyone had left. That was in my class, but I know they're getting back on the map, and it was one of the best times of my life. So I'm very appreciative of the time that I had there, and a lot of good memories. And obviously Rico was a big part of that. And it's great to see him still coaching and having success. He's done a lot for that program, and then obviously in a new spot now doing the exact same thing.
And then just the last one for me, you mentioned Bogosian. Just what kind of bond do you have with a player when your names are both on the Stanley Cup and you've been through, what you went through with those guys in Tampa?
Well, it's special. It's something that lasts forever. Me and him actually got traded there about the same time. So came into a similar situation with him, living at the hotel, and COVID hitting, I think it was 9 or 10 games into us getting there. So a bit of a different way of living while we were there. Obviously the world wasn't the same, but went through the trenches together, and he's a great guy. He's a good family man. He's a warrior on the ice. So really excited he's back on my team, and it's just one of those things that you'll always share together. So I'm really excited to be back with him. He was the first text I sent, so great to connect with him, and he's been helpful. So we'll always have that cup ring together, and hopefully we can work our way towards another.
Thank you, and welcome again.
Thank you.
Blake, I was just wondering about, your penalty killing. Garen mentioned it obviously as an elite attribute. Just how much pride do you take in that part of the game still, and how have you honed that part of your game over the years?
Yeah, it was a big part of, kind of my identity coming into the league, kind of where I found, a lot of confidence in terms of just getting more ice time through the penalty kill and settling into that role, obviously with Heinze and Jersey originally. And then it just kind of became part of my identity, and I've always enjoyed it. It's kind of my game. I'm not real flashy, but I feel I have a pretty good mind for the game, and PK, there's a lot of reads and understanding where to be, so it kind of fits my style. And and then I think I try to pride myself on the ability to chip in offensively through the kill as well. Obviously everybody knows that, shorthanded goals can help turn a game around when it's not supposed to. So, I've kind of grown as I've gone. I was able to play a key role with Tampa and McKill and then obviously still in Calgary. So, I'm kind of one of those guys where wherever they put me, I'll be grateful to be there and just do what I can to bring my best.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, Joel Smith.
Hey, Blake. Good to see you again. Just had one quick question for you. Like, I know the lines could go up and down depending on what happens in camp and chemistry, but I know Bill mentioned maybe on the second line, and you look at what they had with Boldy and Eriksson Ek. Like, what do you like about those players specifically, and maybe what you could bring to a trio like that?
Well, yeah, really good players, obviously. I'm not putting a lot of stock in where exactly I'll end up because I know, I've been through this before, and things can change day to day or game to game. But the opportunity to play with great players that make plays like they do, and have a bit of snarl and are hard to play against and competitive, really excites me. And those are the kind of guys you want to go to war with. So I hated playing against them. I'm excited that we're on the same side now, and again, it's a great opportunity to play with, in my view, some of the best players at their position in the league.
And last one from me, you were in Tampa when they made some changes a little bit to their core, or like added around them and added new personalities and fresh faces. Like, I know the Wild are adding a couple new faces here to this team that's been around together forever. Like, how much did you tell a difference when you had maybe some new blood in the room, and kind of seeing how that kind of affected things when you have a team that's trying to build a chance to win a championship?
Oh yeah, it's obviously the nature of the business is faces are going to turn over, and you got to find ways to retool. And they have a great core, and they've had a lot of success. Obviously, a good little run in the playoffs this year, and seems like they're getting better and better every year. So, again, I just want to come in and play my game. Hopefully, you can give them a boost in areas where management felt that I could come help the team, and they have a lot of the pieces already, so it's not changing much. It's just coming in, be a good teammate, try to help where you can, and play your game. And we're just excited about the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Mike, you have one more?
Yeah, just what's your brother's name, and how did he end up here? Like, what's he do?
His name's Kevin, and he's a child psychologist, family psychologist. He's probably been there for, I guess since I came in the league. So, 10 years or so. He went to school at Yale briefly. He was in Chicago. And anyway, they ended up in Minnesota just purely for his job. Didn't know anything about it. And love it. They call it home now. They've been there obviously for a while, and have nothing but great things to say. So, I get to see them when we come in town, go to dinner all the time at their house. But now we might get a few more visits together.
That's awesome. Well, Congrats again. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
The best place to go for all your Minnesota Wild audio needs is the official Minnesota Wild podcast presented by Acrisure. Everything Minnesota Wild related, including highlights, press conferences, players, coaches, general managers, and more. It's available on the official Minnesota Wild podcast presented by Acrisure. It's all just a click away at wild.com/podcast.